Yeah.
The deeds suddenly start and o'erleap his head of reason and his guardian will. This is, of course, with people who are a little bit, shall I say, touched, a little bit, they don't quite have the stability of the mind or the vital, and so
Mm.
they do these things, and these deeds are usually horrible deeds. They're murders or abuse or something like that. So now we have to read more what Sri Aurobindo is saying. Hardly, no, an old self.
An old self lurks in the new self we are. Hardly we escape from what we once had been. In the dim in the dim gleam of habit's passages, in the subconscious darkling corridors, all things are carried by the porter nerves, and nothing checked by sub-
Sub.
subterranean mind,
Mhm.
unstudied by the guardians of the doors, and passed by a blind instinctive memory, the old gang dismissed, old cancelled passports serve.
What do you think he is saying here?
I think, for me, what it meant was, we talk about also the traumas that we go through. So he's somewhere addressing for me that and how it affects us as a being, because he says that the old lurks, even if we are new, it still lurks and we can't really escape the past. And it somehow comes into our habit as well, because that's who we were. And in the subconscious, it's there in the it's there, it is dark in the subconscious, and it is there. And the nerves, like, like trauma is even in after Srivindu wrote this 100 years ago, probably. Now, trauma studies are saying that all of that trauma is stored in the nerves, and he's saying that all things are carried by the porter nerves and nothing checked by subterranean mind. So, that is reiterated by the mind. So, that's what it speaks to me.
Yeah, he calls these nerves porter nerves because they carry things like a
Yes.
porter.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on. You do it.
And he says that unstudied by the guardians of the doors. I don't know what he means. If he means the mind, or he's talking about the memory there.
I think the guardians of the doors, that would be the higher self, the psychic
Okay,
being, the
okay,
soul, the soul.
okay, okay. And passed by a blind instinctive memory, the old gang dismissed, old cancelled passports serve. I actually didn't understand that.
Yeah. Well, it's a very interesting statement because he's talking about our nature.
Yeah.
And even though we dismissed the old gang of memories and habits and the nerves and everything, still old canceled passports serve us.
Yeah.
See how interesting that is?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant line. The old gang dismissed. Well, what is that gang? Just all the things he just told us about. The old
Okay.
self lurking in the new self, and the deeds that we do, and the ideas that we have, and the dead past that's clinging around our future's ankles. See, all of this means so much, and I'd like you to read it all once at the end. We'll go through some more yet,
Hmm.
but this is so interesting. So carry on. Let's do three more lines and then go into the next page, which is 484.
In dim tunnels, in dim tunnels of the world's being, and in ours, the old rejected nature still survives. The corpse of its slain thoughts raise their heads and visit mind's nocturnal walks in sleep. Its stifled impulses breathe and move and rise. All keeps a phantom immortality.
So, phantom here is something apparently seen or sensed, but it has no physical reality. It's like a ghost.
Okay.
So, everything keeps this ghost like immortality. And he's telling us this because he wants us to wake out of this, to get out of this. The corpses of the slain thoughts, in fact, raise their heads again and again. And
Hmm.
they visit us in our sleep.
Hmm.
And we know that sometimes we have terrible nightmares. These are the corpses of the slain thoughts.
Hmm.
Nocturnal, of course, is occurring in the night.
Hmm.
And stifled, that means smothered or suppressed impulses breathe and move and rise, and everything keeps this phantom, this ghost like immortality. Now, we should go on a little bit more with our lines, and then we'll talk about some things.
Irresistible are nature's sequences. The seeds of sins renounced sprout from hid soil. The evil cast from our hearts once more we face. Our dead selves come to slay our living soul.
So, this is what Sri Aurobindo has experienced in humanity. He
Hmm.
had experienced it in himself.
Hmm.
And there are lines in Savitri when he is about to meet the Divine Mother, and we will see those lines, when he says something lingered still in him and it had to be thrown out. Very,
Hmm.
very powerful.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so I'd like you to read from 483 way back till we can get this whole thing, and I'll give you the place where we should start. Um, he's going to talk about, okay, yeah, all right. Only a little of us
Yeah, I
foresees
got
its
it. Yeah.
good. So read
Only
it
a
to me
little of,
slowly, make me feel it.
yeah, only a little of us foresees its steps. Only a little has will and purposed pace. A vast subliminal is man's measureless part. The dim subconscient is his cavern base. Abolished vainly in the walks of time, our past lives still in our unconscious selves. Sorry, our past lives in our past lives still in our unconscious selves,
Good.
and by the weight of its hidden influences is shaped our future's self-discovery. Thus, all is an inevitable chain, and yet a series of accidents. The unremembering hours repeat the old acts. Our dead past round our future's ankles clings and drags back the new nature's glorious stride. Or from its buried corpse old ghosts arise, old thoughts, old longings, dead passions live again, recur in sleep, or move the waking man to words that force the barrier of the lips, to deeds that suddenly start or overleap his head of reason and his guardian will. An old self lurks in the new self we are. Hardly we escape from what we once had been. In the dim gleam of habit's passages, in the subconscious darkling corridors, all things are carried by the porter nerves, and nothing checked by subterranean mind,
Subterranean.
subterranean, and
Sub,
nothing checked
sub
by
with the accent on sub. Subterranean.
and nothing checked by subterranean mind,
Good.
unstudied by the guardians of the doors, and passed by a blind instinctive memory, the old gang dismissed, old cancelled passports serve. Nothing is wholly dead that once had lived in dim tunnels of the world's being and in ours. The old rejected nature still survives. The corpses of its slain thoughts raise their heads and visit mind's nocturnal walks in sleep. Its stifled impulses breathe and move and rise. All keeps of phantom immortality.
Now you see,
Irresistible.
you have read such a long passage,
Yeah,
but it all makes sense now, doesn't it?
yeah.
I mean, we see that we understand exactly what Sri Aurobindo is telling us in Savitri about
Hmm.
humanity in general.
Hmm.
So I think we've done nature already.
Yes.
So why don't you continue reading then? We have some time.
Irresistible are nature's sequences. The seeds of sins renounced sprout from hid soil. The evil cast from our hearts once more we face.
Yeah, I would read that a little differently. The
Okay.
evil from our hearts we face.
Okay. The evil cast from our hearts once more we face. Our dead
Yes.
selves, our dead selves come to slay our living soul. A portion of us lives in present time. A secret mass in dim inconscience gropes out of the inconscient and subliminal. Arisen, we live in mind's uncertain light, and strive to know and master a dubious world, whose purpose and meaning are hidden from our sight.
And that sort of concludes what he is going to
What
tell us.
he's
But there is
saying.
still more,
Yeah.
much more. And what has he said in those lines? Can you tell me?
So he's talking about, he already, we discussed how he's talking about the past coming up, and how the habits come into play, and he says that nothing is wholly dead, like it was that once was alive. Nothing is wholly dead, and they actually come back and visit in, they do like nocturnal walks in sleep, and
Yes.
they and it sometimes acts even in our impulses and breath and move and rise. um, he says that uh, nature's sequence, irresistible are nature's in sequences, because seeds of these sin are sprouted from the hidden soil, because it's possibly done in the past, and it has sprouted, and evil cast from our hearts once more we face. So that which we have casted we have to face. Our dead selves
And
come
that
to slay our
cost,
living soul.
yes. Yes, carry on.
So he says that our past, in some way, I think that's what he's referring to as our dead selves. Our past come to slay our living soul. It haunts us. Our past and our past deeds haunts us. Um, a portion of us lives in present time. So he's pointing out that humanity, only a portion is living in the present time. Um, a secret mass in dim A secret mass in dim inconscient gropes out of the inconscient and subliminal. So um, we are still we're still influenced by the inconscient and subliminal. Arisen, we live in mind's uncertain light. The mind's light is uncertain and it strives to know and
Yes.
master a dubious world. So it wants to master the world,
Yes.
whose purpose and meaning are hidden from our sight. So, because we are acting from this aspect of inconscient and subliminal and the mind, our own purpose and meaning is hidden from our sight because our sight is coming from all of these, um, how to say, these past and
This past thing. Yes.
yeah, above us dwells a
Now,
sub.
have we done inconscient
Yes, we have done inconscient and subliminal also.
and time also?
Time also, yes.
Okay, very good. We've done a lot together.
Yes,
So we'll carry on then. Yes, let's carry on. Around us.
around us in a vast of ignorance. No, above that. Above us
Yes,
dwells a
dwell.
superconscient God, hidden in the mystery of his own light. Around us is a vast of ignorance, lit by the uncertain ray of human mind. Below us sleeps the inconscient dark and mute.
So he gives us three things. Above us, there's a superconscious God. And
Okay.
he says the superconscious consciousness taken up into an absolute of being. So
Huh.
above us is the superconscious God, around us is the ignorance, and below us is the inconscient. Very, very clear when we see it like that.
Hmm.
Now, he's going to change everything. So please start. But this.
But this is only matter's first self-view, a scale and series in the ignorance. This is not all we are or all our world. Our greater self of knowledge waits for us, a supreme light in the truth conscious vast. It seems from summits beyond thinking mind. It moves in a splendid air, transcending life. It shall descend and make earth's life divine.
Well, you see how he changes it.
Yeah.
He says that this is not all we are. It's not our world,
Hmm.
because there is a grade of self knowledge that is waiting for us.
Yeah.
And that self knowledge is a supreme light in this
Yeah.
vast, of truth consciousness.
Hmm.
It sees from summits that are far beyond the thinking mind,
Hmm.
and it moves a splendid air, transcending life. It shall descend and make earth's life divine. And that line alone is the precursor to the descent of the supermental.
Hmm.
So he was writing this before of course, mother broke the door because he left in 1950 and she only did this, what, in 1956.
Hmm.
She broke it. So 6 years later, he is seeing that happening.
Hmm.
And he says, it shall descend and make earth's life divine. And that is what the supramental is doing now for
Hmm.
us.
Hmm.
So beautiful, huh? And let's continue a little bit because it's so uplifting, and we've just been through such a dark passage.
Yeah. And actually, like these lines are so beautiful that I didn't want to stop reading. But I had to
Yeah.
also like discuss with you. So I thought, okay, where this line is so powerful, let me pause there. It shall descend and make earth's life divine.
Yes. But he will
Truth,
continue also very, very
yeah,
high.
truth made the world, not a blind nature force. For here are not our large diviner heights, our summits in the superconscious blaze are glorious with the very face of God. There is our aspect of eternity.
No,
There,
there is our
there,
ask.
there is our aspect of eternity. There is the figure of the God we are. His young, unaging look on deathless things, his joy in our escape from death and time, his immortality and light and bliss.
Oh, how beautiful. Huh? Wow. So, what can we say? Did we, have we done, we've done ignorance, I'm sure. Have we done superconscious?
Let me check.
I think we have, and it's only one or two statements.
Okay, I can't recollect, so I have to check. No, we have not checked. Superconscious, don't see. Is there anything in the book? I don't. Is it in the supplement? Because
It's in
superconscious,
the,
I see only one line which says above human consciousness.
no, I
Ah,
have but a,
superconscious. I found it. I found it.
oh, good, good.
Sri Aurobindo. But a third power of possibility of the infinite for the infinite consciousness
No,
can be
infinite,
infinite.
in,
But a third power of or possibility of the infinite consciousness can be admitted. Its power of self-absorption or plunging off again, of
plunging
plunging
into
into
it,
itself into a state in which self-awareness exists, but not as knowledge, and not as all knowledge. The all would then be involved in pure self-awareness and knowledge, and the inner consciousness itself would be lost in pure being. I'll read that again, Narad.
sure.
But a third power or possibility of the infinite consciousness can be admitted. Its power of self-absorption or plunging into itself into a state in which self-awareness exists, but not as knowledge and not as all knowledge. The all would be the all would then be involved in pure self-awareness and knowledge, and the inner consciousness itself would be lost in pure being. This is luminously the state which we call the superconscious in an absolute sense, although most of what we call superconscient is in reality not that but only a higher conscience, something that is conscious to itself and only superconscious to our own limited level of awareness.
Yeah. And so that's very clear. We're not aware of that. We call it superconscious, but it's only a higher consciousness.
Yeah.
It's only because our limited level of awareness cannot grasp that third power,
Hmm.
that infinite consciousness.
Yeah.
So, um,
Maybe we can stop here, Narad, and I will
I
read the
think that's a
positive.
good idea. There's been such a night. I think it's so. Let's do that. Let's stop there.
And I will just read from but just the positive lines. But this is only
Yeah,
matters first.
very good. Yes.
Above us dwells a superconscient God, hidden in the mystery of his own light. Around us, in a vast of ignorance, lit by the uncertain ray of human mind, below us sleeps the inconscient dark and mute. But this is only matter's first self-view, a scale and series in the ignorance. This is not all we are or all our world. Our greater self of knowledge waits for us, a supreme light in the truth conscious vast. It sees from summits beyond thinking mind. It moves in a splendid air transcending life. It shall descend and make earth's life divine. Truth made the world, not a blind nature force. For here are not our large diviner heights, our summits in the superconscious blaze are glorious with the very face of God. There is our aspect of eternity. There is the figure of the God we are. His young, unaging look on deathless things, his joy in our escape from death and time, his immortality and light and bliss.
Oh, wonderful evening. Send me the line so and the page, so
Yes,
it'll be easier for me next.
yes.
Okay.
Namaste, Narad.
Namaste.
Thank you so
Good,
much.
good reading. You're improving very quickly.
Thank
Very
you.
quick. Okay. Good night.
Good night.